On my first day at a new high school, our English teacher wrote one sentence on the board. If someone calls your name after the final bell, don't turn around. Everyone laughed. I laughed too. The teacher didn't. She simply erased the sentence and started class. At the end of the day, I asked one of my classmates about it. He looked at me strangely. Then he said, "Just don't." That was it. The next afternoon, the final bell rang at 3:15. I packed my backpack and walked into the hallway. The school was almost empty. Then I heard someone behind me. "Jake?" I stopped. It sounded exactly like my best friend Tyler. I almost turned around. Then I remembered the rule. So I kept walking. "Jake, wait!" The voice sounded closer. I didn't look back. I reached the front doors and walked outside. Tyler was standing by the school bus. He looked at me and said, "Why were you ignoring me?" I stared at him. "You called my name." He shook his head. "I've been standing here for 10 minutes. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. The next day, I asked my teacher why she had given us that rule. Her face changed. She closed the classroom door. Then she whispered, "Because the person calling your name isn't a person." I laughed nervously. She didn't. She told me the school had one strange problem. Every few years, a student would hear their name after the final bell. If they turned around, they would disappear. No one knew where they went. The school always called it an accident. But my teacher knew better. She said her older brother had disappeared the same way when they were kids. I thought she was telling me a scary story. Until Friday. The final bell rang. I walked through the empty hallway. Then, I heard it. "Jake?" I kept walking. "Jake, please." The voice was crying now. It sounded like my mother. I almost turned around, then I heard another voice. My teacher. "Don't look!" I ran. I reached the exit and pushed the doors open. My teacher grabbed my arm. We stood outside breathing heavily. Then she looked at me and asked, "Did you hear anyone else?" I said no. She went completely silent. Then she slowly pointed toward the school windows. I looked up. Every classroom was empty, except one. Our classroom. Someone was standing behind the glass. It was me. The other me smiled. Then it raised one hand and wrote something on the window. 3 words. "You turned around." I froze. My teacher grabbed my shoulder. "Jake," I whispered, but I didn't. She looked terrified. Then she said, "You did." I looked at the reflection in the window. And suddenly I understood. The person standing outside the school wasn't me. I was the one still trapped inside.